All right, you're welcome to volume 2 of Critical Skills for Business Result Acceleration. There is no way that you can accelerate results in your career and in your business without being good when it comes to the practice of these skills that we have seen from volume 1 and now in volume 2. And the first skill we're going to look at in volume 2 is the skill of empathy. Every successful business executive and entrepreneur has the skill of empathy. The skill of empathy. Empathy remains one of those top critical skills for business success. It is difficult for you to design a good product, a good solution as an entrepreneur when you don't develop empathy to feel or to put yourself in the shoes of the consumers, to try to understand from their perspective or from their shoes if they will like this product and they will be willing to buy the product. So empathy means putting yourself in my shoes to understand what I go through, what I feel before you design the product. It is difficult for you to lead your team members, to lead your employees. Many managers and executives are bad leaders to the people they are called to lead in the workplace because they don't know how to develop empathy. Many people pay employees poorly and they don't even care how much they pay them because they don't even bother how are they trying to live, how are they surviving, and all of that. The empathy is not there. Even if you're not able to pay them well, at least it's different when you develop the empathy and you're conscious that, hey, we need to work hard as an organization so we can grow and be able to take care of our staff or our people. You can only think like that from the place of empathy. Some people don't know how to communicate with their fellow employees or even subordinates with respect because they have never developed the empathy to understand how do they feel when I speak to them anyhow and disrespectfully or carelessly. That is the power of empathy in the workplace. For a workplace to thrive, the employees and the leaders must be exceptional when it comes to the skill of empathy. And then dear entrepreneurs and executive supervisors, managers, wherever you find yourself in all of this, there are 4 critical elements when it comes to being good with the skill of empathy as a leader. 4 critical elements, and I want you to take them down and never forget. Elements number 1, when it comes to being good with using empathy to lead and to accelerate your business. Element number 1, you must have genuine interest in other people. You must have genuine interest in other people. There is no way you can develop empathy for other people if you don't generally love human beings. You must have genuine interest and love for human beings. You're not really a leader who has empathy if you treat people different based on their social status. You see, let's say like an example, let's say like you work with me and then because I'm your boss, you treat me specially. You claim to be humble and respectful and kind to me, but then to your fellow colleagues, you are not. You don't have genuine interest in human beings. You see, like one thing I was teaching the staff yesterday in the office, we were talking about the organigram of the company and the positions and all of that. But I was telling them the organigram is important, yes. It's good for everybody to know their place and know who to report to, yes. But the first thing that comes before the organigram in Cosdef Group are the core values. I want you that any leader, when you're talking to anybody, see their humanness first. Don't see that they are your subordinate first. When you're talking to somebody, make sure you respect the values of kindness, love, unity, and all of that. But with those things existing, it doesn't mean that we should not respect leadership. It doesn't mean that there is no discipline. Of course, if you go out of line and disrespect a leader because you want to take them for granted, you will be sanctioned. You see, so the two go in order. So you cannot succeed in business. You cannot build good products for people. You cannot build good services for people. You cannot lead people well if you don't have genuine interest for people. How much do you love people in general? We are all commanded to love. The second element that you need to consider as an executive and entrepreneur when it comes to empathy is you should be good at looking at things from their perspective. You should be good at looking at things from their perspective. You need this second element to thrive when it comes to empathy. It is difficult. It is difficult for you to be an entrepreneur, a manager, a coordinator, an executive who practices empathy if you are not good at looking at things from different perspectives. From somebody else's perspective. Somebody's trying to talk to you, you just say, get out of here. What do you know? You're not right. You have not even listened first. And this is very important for leaders. Very important. If a staff walks up to you, your first job as a leader is to listen to their perspective. Don't just conclude and shut them off. Listen actively. Listen looking at them. Listen to hear where they're taking this discussion to before you jump in with how you look at things. And when you guys combine your heads together, you'll be able to build very beautiful things that can advance the workplace. This is one thing I really get to appreciate about my team at Cosdef Group, from the manager to the other staff, the coordinator, Teresh, program manager, every other person. One thing I like is that we have reached that place where they freely communicate with me, which is very important to me, because it's difficult to innovate and really run a successful institution if your team cannot walk to you with suggestions about the workplace, about the product, about the future of the organization. It's challenging. So one of the things I try to do my best is that barrier is not there. And of course, it's team a responsibility to listen anytime they walk in or in the staff meeting to suggest. My job first is always to listen to their perspective first before I'm saying, okay, this is what I think. And many a times I bring what I know halfway, the manager brings what she knows halfway, then we get to agree on something that is much, much better. And many a times there are things she sees better than what I see. Because there's no way for you to see everything from the different angle, because I will look at things from a visionary perspective, from a leadership perspective, and maybe from a future perspective. She is the operations. Teresh, Laurentine, and others who work with me, they are in the operations. So they will look at it also from the operating practical point of view. So when I bring visionary, strategy, and all of that in place, they bring operations, practicality, and all of that in place. It's easier like that. So that you see now the advantage of being able to listen first. You listen first, you bring it together before that happens. So you cannot be good when it comes to empathy when you quickly just shut people out. When they come to suggest something, there are many people like you said, I know. When you talk to somebody, I know. I hate that stuff a lot. Many people like to use that. I don't know where that thing, whether it's pride or it's slang or it's swag. I don't know where that thing came from. You're talking to somebody, before you want to say anything, I know. You have to say something, I know. But at the end, they're using all your ideas to do what they were saying that they know when they knew nothing actually. But when somebody's talking to you, shut the hell up and just listen actively. If possible, take down notes. I have a book in my office. Sometimes when I have a student discussion with the staff, I'm noting. I have a notepad on my laptop. When we're talking, I am noting what they're saying. Stop saying, I know. Your job is to listen, take down notes. Then you can propose better. Then you can communicate better. There's no way you can claim that you're a leader with empathy and you don't listen to others' perspective. And that's why good entrepreneurs listen to employees' feedback. And most importantly, listen to customers' feedback. That's how you build better products and a better environment. The third element under empathy is you need to be good at acknowledging the feelings of others. You need to be good. Yeah, I know, right? Very good. I know, right? I know, right? You begin to wonder, what do you know? You're not listening to me. I know. Right. The third element under empathy, which I hope leaders here are listening, if you are here and people report to you, if you are not winning at empathy, something is wrong. You are still leading like in the 1980s and 1990s. Good leaders acknowledge the feelings of other people. Somebody comes to talk to you, what they're going through, you first of all, you need to understand them. Sometimes people don't need advice. People just need you to listen and understand how they feel. That's why even some people, when somebody understands how you feel and gives you a hug, you feel better. And so sometimes you can testify like that. Just because somebody was there to listen to you and understand that this is how you feel. And really just feel for you and understand what you're trying to say and even get to trust you and acknowledge that, look, I don't understand you, but I know where you're going to. That alone heals a lot, brings a lot of balance. A good leader should be good at acknowledging the feelings of others, especially their employees, their team members, and of course, the customers. Sometimes a customer is ranting and shouting. One of the best ways to solve that is to acknowledge the feelings. Oh, I know that we are late. I know this must have cost you some inconvenience. I know maybe you have lost some money because of our late. Please, I understand. We are sorry for that. You take it from that angle, you start breaking that anger first from acknowledging their feelings. Like, for example, startups. Many of us startups have been there. Many of us, you're going to run business at the beginning. You will not be able to pay your staff even 30,000 francs on a monthly basis. But you see, but if somebody's working for you, you need to let them understand that, I understand that, you see, maybe it's not enough for transport. It's not even enough for your house rent, not even enough for your feelings. But, I understand. And I'm working so hard. And I want us to work so hard together so we can take this forward so that we can be able to also pay you better. It's not just about human beings. They're human beings. Money is just one part of life. That's why I keep saying you're a very childish person if you're 25 and above and you make decisions first on money and you're not considering many other elements that make up the real living. Money is just a very small piece of living, very small piece of lifestyle, of being significant and feeling fulfilled. So start being good at acknowledging the feelings of your customers, acknowledging the feelings of your colleagues, even the feelings of your boss. How does your boss feel? There are some people that even understand that their boss have feelings. Your leaders have feelings. So that when you do something, when you say something, when you react somewhere, you think about how your boss will feel. Somebody said genuine love, you get to understand, like if you genuinely love God, for example, before you do something wrong, you think of how God will feel when you go wrong. There are some people, many people, you don't get to do certain things because you think of your mother. There are some people, like, when you watch certain things, or like you watch a film, a movie, and a thief is caught, the first thing many like to talk about is their mom, how my mother feel when I get caught or when she sees me like this. You see? So sometimes how you anticipate how somebody will feel it can alter the kind of decisions and actions you will take. So as a good leader, start acknowledging how other people feel. That's the third element if you must succeed in the area of empathy, which is a critical skill in leadership. The fourth element is never judge. Never judge people, but choose to be supportive. A leader who practices empathy in the workplace, in business, doesn't judge people. They are always supportive. A customer is ranting up and down, don't just judge that customer is always shouting, that customer is always this and all of that. Your job is to support them. Your job is to serve them. Of course, they are going to shout and hurt your own feelings. Acknowledge your own feelings and be aware and grow. You already know you're in business. So in business, you're going to see all types of stuff happening. So be aware of that. Emotions also means that you're self-aware, and you also anticipate what may happen or may not happen. So avoid judging people and always be on the side of supporting. It's the same like if you're a leader and you have employees or team members working with you. Sometimes don't judge them quickly. I prefer decision making. I prefer following policies than judging people. But in whatever that is going on, your first job as a leader is to support them to become better. Is to support them to become better. Always think of how can I support my colleague? How can I support my team members? How can I support this customer and serve them better and give them a better experience? And the last element under empathy in the workplace or in business is be generous with your time, your attention, and even resources. Be generous with your time, attention, and resources. Yes, if you claim to be a leader who is full of empathy, be generous with your time. Sometimes you create time just to check on your staff. Be generous with your attention, just check on them. There are some leaders, some employers, their staff will not even show up to work. They've never even called to check what happened. Are you okay? They will just conclude and even get angry. They are not even follow up. Or your staff is running late. They haven't called to check. Oh, what's wrong? Everything okay? The first thing you start shouting first before you even hear what went wrong. You're not a good leader. I prefer you find out, even if the staff is wrong, find out first of all, understand why they are wrong and discipline them based on the policy before you start shouting. Or even if you want to shout after finding out first. The staff says he or she is sick, you don't even check, just send a normal text. Just be generous with your time. Send a normal text. Hey, how are you feeling today? I hope you're better. That alone is empathy. Call if you can. Do a visit if you can. But be generous with your time. Be generous with your attention. Create attention. Sometimes people have personal issues. Create the attention to be there. Be generous with their resources. Sometimes just 1,000 francs support, a 2,000 francs, 10,000 francs, whatever that you can afford. That alone can be empathy. You can step up, say, okay, look, this is what I have to give you now. I can support you with this at this particular moment. You know, we are in this together. I can help you with this. My goal is for you to start. You can give extra bonus to a good customer or to customers that buy from you. They buy 10, give them the 11th item as a gift. You're generous. You understand that, oh, they're always supporting you. They're always available to buy from your shop. Be generous to them. Give them a special gift. So remember these 5 elements as a leader in the workplace. The second skill that you need to develop when it comes to volume 2 of critical soft skills for business result acceleration is the skill of positive attitude. Positive attitude. If you know that you have positive attitude, write in the chat box that you have positive attitude. If I tell you what it is. And if I tell you and you don't have it, just go back to the chat box and write, I don't have positive attitude. If you know that you have positive attitude as an entrepreneur and as an executive, write in the chat box that you have positive attitude. Yes, I want to see people. Some people are afraid to write now because they don't know whether they have it or not. Smiling anyhow doesn't mean that you have positive attitude, though. So don't go and write because you're always smiling. You think that that's positive attitude. I'm checking those are writing. Those have not written, they are suspects. All right, let us see. Okay, some people are confessing already. All right. Let us see. Those are not writing positive attitude. There are two things. Either you're sleeping or you don't have it at all, which is understood. Somebody said, I may have positive attitudes. Politicians. Okay. What does it mean to have positive attitude as an entrepreneur or a business executive, a manager, a leader, or whatever you do, as long as you lead something, you lead a group of people? There are 4 critical elements for you to manifest if you really have positive attitude as an entrepreneur and as an executive. And let me tell you, positive attitude is critical in business acceleration. The first sign that you have positive attitude is you don't complain. You don't complain. Something happens, it has gone wrong, you focus on getting it right, solving the problem and moving forward. You don't sit over it and you complain. Everybody that calls you, there are some human beings that are like that. Something goes wrong today, just call them. They will just complain about it. They will just tell you whatever happened. You didn't even ask. Can you imagine what happened today? Who asked you? Who asked you? You go back home, you gossip the whole family house. What happened at the office? Who asked you to be telling them? That's the first element. One sign that you have positive attitude is you don't complain. Yes, something has gone wrong. Yes. Acknowledge it, communicate it with the mindset of solving it. Don't move around and complain from one human being to another. That is not a good skill at all. The second element under this skill of positive attitude is if you have this attitude, you don't gossip. Gossipers are not positive people. You take people's things, you go and tell other people which doesn't concern them. You have a meeting with somebody, which was just the two of you. You go now and tell the third staff in the office, the fourth staff, or you have a meeting with your boss, you now go and tell, you now go and speak carelessly or angrily, and you now say things that your boss discussed with you just for the leadership reasoning, and you go and tell the other people you don't have a positive attitude at all. A customer speaks to you, and then you react also unprofessionally in the process. You don't have a positive attitude. If you are here and you're good at telling other people stuff to third parties when they are not supposed to hear that, you cannot guard your mouth. The most annoying thing is somebody who talks anyhow. Like how do you consider a human being? You really take somebody's discussion they discuss with you one-on-one. You go and carry a big head, and then you sit and you discuss with another person or with a group of people. How do you? I don't think that kind of person is a human being. They need to look for another name and call you with. You don't deserve to be a human being at all. Gossiping should not be something in the workplace. Learn to stay quiet. You must not talk. You must not talk, especially if it doesn't concern you or it's not in direct relationship. That's why it is good to have non-disclosure agreements in companies. Some employees cannot keep their mouth shut, and let them be sanctioned. The day one employee is sanctioned for leaking company's information outside carelessly, that person will learn a lesson. So if you have positive attitude, you don't complain, you solve problems, you don't gossip, you never gossip, you shut your mouth, you ignore the conversation as long as that information is not permitted to be in public. You don't talk about it. The third element that you have a positive attitude is you criticize to improve. You criticize with love. You don't just tell somebody, oh, you're stupid. You don't have to do anything nice. You just talk to, you just criticize negatively with bad words, with bad temper, bad tone. You don't have a positive attitude. But there's a way you criticize with respect. Also, oh, you see, this was not well done. I think we can improve it this way. That is positive criticisms. Oh, you didn't get this right. This is how to get it right. And then you accompany them in the process of getting it right. Something goes wrong. Oh, see me this dull stuff. You sit with your friends, you castigate your employees. Oh, no. You don't have a positive attitude. One sign you have a good attitude is when you sit with people and you're talking about your team members or whoever, you say good things about them. Capitalize on their strength. I was still one time with one of the board members. We meet in South Africa. So yeah. And I was just talking about the staff. So, oh, see, this staff, when it concerns this, they are very good at it. When they handle this so well, and I don't get to have headache with this. This staff, they are good at this. This one, they're growing in this area. They're so growing in this area. And I think if all of them, the way they're growing, 2, 3, 4 years, will have a formidable team. You're a very bad leader. You go sit in your house, you go sit with your wife or husband, you castigate your employees behind the scene, you pick one and you analyze from A to Z how terrible they are. Then why are they working for you? Let them go. Stop. Even though they are not there, spirits are listening. The universe is listening, trees are listening. Yeah, we are sending out the bad spirits. And that's why they will not like you. They just discover they grow up hating you too. The environment is toxic. Be a genuine lover of your people. In their absence, genuinely love them. Employees, you are so terrible too. You go sit and you castigate your boss. I know some people are not the best in leadership. But than to talk negatively against your boss to somebody who will never even help, you're just talking to run your mouth. Don't talk, stay quiet. Pick the good things and talk about. If you don't feel like talking about the good things because they're so terrible, stay quiet. Why must you go and gossip and castigate your boss as if it's Sawyer in public? What do you gain doing that? You don't have a positive attitude. And the fourth element on that positive attitude is always speak well of other people. Always speak well of other people. Very important. You cannot claim to have a positive attitude when anything you say about anybody to another person is bad. If everybody around you seems to have bad things that go wrong in their life, you are a bad person. Everybody around you cannot be wrong. Everybody around you cannot have bad character. Then you have a very big problem. You need deliverance. You don't speak good about anybody. You are a leader. You don't see anything good about your staff. Nah, you are it is you, the leader, that has bad issues. You have bad mindset. You have a bad heart. You have bad emotions, and you need to repent seriously. As a good staff, you look at all your team members, you see good. Oh, you see, this one is good at this. This is good at this, good at this, good at this, good at this. All your customers cannot be bad now. Your customers, they have also some good in them. They cannot be bad at all. You see? So it is not good to have all of these four elements. If you have these four elements I've spoken about, you don't have a good attitude. Yeah, some partners are very good at gossiping, as Clarence is saying. You know, I had issues one time with my ex because she was fun. I was bringing these issues to talk about. Me, I don't know how to sit and talk about people. She'll be talking about that, I would just be saying, okay. And that's all. She'll get angry that I am not reciprocating the conversation. I said, no, it's not necessary. It's not. It's not a conversation at all. We can stay for years and we'll never discuss somebody as a topic. It's not necessary. It's waste of energy and time. You sit on the dinner table to eat instead of eating, you're castigating people. So after listing the four elements, you have a positive attitude is you don't gossip, you don't complain, you don't criticize negatively, and you don't speak bad of other people. If you have a positive attitude, it means you never gossip, you never complain, but you accept that things have gone wrong, and you focus on improving and getting them better. You criticize with love, respect, kindness, and with a solution mindset. You don't criticize to ignore. You speak well of others. You see good in other people. I ask the question again, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, do you have a good, positive attitude? Let us rate ourselves on 10, from 1 to 10, on 10. Rate your good attitude, your positive attitude. Let's go. Rate your positive attitude. Let me see my staff that are here. I'm waiting to see their ratings. Who are those in this class? Florentine, Teresh is here, Edna is here. Now you're going to be looking at your own people now. That's good. Those who have good attitude here. So we don't have 9 on 10. That's good. That's good. Beautiful. 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 We have very good, of course, if you have been in PPA, you should know that you have certain things. These things are very important. I am not seeing some people. I'm not seeing some people commenting. Taresh, I'm not seeing your comments. Laurent, Enna, I'm not seeing your comments. And one thing about positive attitude is it increases your happiness. If you have from 7 and above, they should be a very genuinely happy person inside of you. I can tell you that. If you have from 7 and above, You should be a very genuinely happy person. I mean, you are so happy that even when you are broke, you feel peace in your heart. You're happy. You're happy. This kind of attitude contributes to your happiness as a person. that's that's not the side effects. You know, there are some things that happens to you, and you know some things are not your identity. They are just ignorance and mistakes. You understand? And these things are for you to grow and become better. So if you have been doing some of these things, it could just because from the place of ignorance. You know, if you grow up in an environment where you see people doing all of these things, you see, it is you are bound to copy it. Your culture can transfer certain things into you. So the next thing now is for you now to change, because that was ignorance. That was an error, which is not your identity. Your identity is that of goodness and kindness and growth and love and happiness and being genuinely joyful and growing on a daily basis. That is your real identity. So this is not to make you feel bad. Like if you have 5 below and so on, 6 and below, it's not for you to feel bad. It's for you now to grow from that place. In 1 week's time, you should be rating you at 7. In 1 month's time, you are consistently growing. And leaders, this is critical for you. Because as a leader, some of you bear me with it. Anybody that you have more than 2 people reporting to you, you need this. Because you're going to see all types of people. You're going to see all types of people. You're going to have employees working for you. Like, for example, in the workplace, you're going to have people coming for you from different villages, different backgrounds, different beliefs, and all of that. And you need to bring them together for them to have the right mindset so they can grow. So for those of you, you know yourself better. You know where you need to grow sincerely for yourself, for your career vision, and for the business vision that you have. You've got to intentionally change. It's good for your own future. There are many people who are depressed because they are just good at complaining. They complain until they are depressed. They have lost happiness because of complaints. There are some people move from one problem to another because they're always being caught for gossiping. Friends are always fighting you for gossiping their names. At the end, you lose happiness. You're not happy. You don't have friends that can even go the extra mile for you because you have dissected, degraded their names up and down. They can even stand and fight for you. You take here, you go and transfer here. And then you stand out like what Bansaman would say, a dog fowl that has entered the water and come out and water has not touched. Now you have not done anything. You are ignorant. Meanwhile, you are the mastermind of everything. That's not good. The third skill in this volume 2, we're looking at teamwork. Yes, teamwork is critical. And of course, teamwork is linked to positive attitude. You cannot be a team leader. You don't have a good positive attitude. If you're a team leader here, you need to make sure you have positive attitude about 8 and above. If you must be an efficient team leader. Of course, your empathy too. You cannot lead people as a team leader, as an executive, as a manager, as a supervisor, if you are not good with empathy. So you need the skill of teamwork to accelerate business results. And there are 3 critical things I want us to look at here when it concerns teamwork. Number 1, avoid claiming all the credit. Avoid taking all the praises. You are not a good team player. You are not a good team player if you are somebody you like to take all the credit. You are talking to somebody, you don't mention, oh, this is this. You take all the credit for the people, for yourself. No, you're a very bad team player. Like, for example, when I'm talking about Cosdef group to people, and when you're also talking about the work you do, and you're not talking about I, people see that you're a selfish person. People who are very conscious, people who have matured in life. I'll look better. You're selfish. You're not a trustworthy leader. I know investors that don't invest in. I know an investor who refused to invest in an entrepreneur because when he was pitching his business, he was talking only about I. Investors don't like I businesses. That's why there are some investors that they don't invest in a business that doesn't have a co-founder or senior managers who have believed in their vision. They don't invest because only teamwork grows a business. You're talking about their business, just put that work for you. It's I. You're a very bad team leader. You're not you don't have the skill of teamwork. And for example, in my last meeting with the US ambassador, so I had to present Cosdef Group, and we do a couple of things. Cosdef Group, I had to present Cosdef Finance, I have to present the training center. And when I was presenting Cosdef Finance, I called the name of the manager. Oh, so in Cosdef Finance, headed by Onya Immaculate, this is what we do. You see, I clearly explained this is the leadership, and there are departments, and they're headed by different people. They also see an efficient institution, an efficient organization. That's what a mature person sees. Don't claim to take all the credit like I claim that you're a very hard worker. Instead, many people, you're a terrible leader. Very terrible. That's why we go back to positive attitude. You cannot claim to be a good team member or team leader. I don't know how to speak well of other people. When I was talking about the training center, I said, the training center is headed by Bill Laurentine and assisted by Teresh and all these people. I mentioned their names in the discussion. And when you also tell the story that you are so practical, the person you are talking to, they feel as if they are in your organization because they are calling names, you're mentioning rules. It's so fluent. They enjoy the discussion. Maybe you're just talking anyhow, you're just claiming I. It's so rigid. They don't even enjoy, they don't follow the flow. It's not significant, it's not tangible. So don't claim the credit, don't claim the praise. Shine the light on your people. That's what good leaders do. Shine the light on your colleagues. That's what good team members do. Don't go and collect praises for something you did not do. It will not be sustainable. Someday it's going to come out anyway, and they will know that you are just lying people and telling lies. You see? Yeah, of course, a one-man army, give glory to God because you're not the one taking care of yourself. You see? Avoid claiming all the credit. So if you are here and you have been claiming credits for work you have not done, repent. Repent. Very, very repentant. The second element under teamwork is be good at celebrating other people's wins. Yes. Be good at celebrating other people's wins. Oh, yes. When others win around you, celebrate them. Congratulate them. You see, it's important. Be a good team member. Celebrate others. Don't behave like a witch. Somebody is succeeding around you, you sit quiet. Don't say anything good. Even ignore the person. Oh God, if it's a staff meeting, go there, give them a hug. Say, oh, congratulations. Before your time is coming, learn to clap for others when their time has come. That's how you also become happy. That's how you attract what you desire. Are we there? Next is take responsibility. Yes, to be a team member, take responsibility. Take responsibility. Take your responsibility serious. If all the team members are working hard in their respective offices efficiently, that's teamwork. But others should not be working hard and you're not working hard. Others should not be coming early and you're always coming late. When you come late, you are already disintegrating the team. That's not teamwork. Or if you are running late, inform the team, let them know you're running late so that if something needs your attention, they know that, oh, okay, he'll be here in 5 minutes. So let us be doing this while we're waiting for him. That's teamwork. But you're running late, nobody knows you're running late. They're working on something, they're confused. Is she coming? Is he coming or not? That's not teamwork. You've got to repent, people. You've got to repent. Next is praise teammates publicly and praise them generously. Oh, yes. Praise teammates publicly and praise them generously. It's very important in teamwork. Don't hide praises. That's what our research says that. This is a research this was last year. Research said, I read a research that was done by McKinsey last year, no, this year. And in that research, money or good salary was the third reason this year why people choose where to work, or why people are happy where they work. The first two were leadership and praise. Good leadership or good working environment. Second, praise, and then money. So money is dying out. Now I said, see, you're a very poor person if the only thing you chase is money. Very poor. Like you're being paid 1 million a month. You still remain very poor. I've seen people are earning well, but they're very unhappy. Very, very unhappy. They're not living life at all. They're just existing. Now you see, the wealthy people commit suicide more than the poor people. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that rich people commit suicide a lot? Rich people commit suicide a lot. So praise teammates publicly and praise them generously. When they do something nice, praise them in front of others. Praise them well in front of others and be generous. Don't praise them so timidly. You come and you just say, that was good work. That's not how to praise somebody. In front of, praise them. Oh, let us celebrate the manager for her leadership, for his leadership. Do this. If you want to give money as tips or bonuses, give them tips. And so, you know what? I'm giving this tip because I want to acknowledge you for the work that you do. Right? So those are the 4 key elements on that teamwork. Next is conflict resolution. Conflict resolution. One fact about the business environment is there will be conflicts. There will be conflicts as long as there are human beings. As long as there are human beings as long as there are there's more than one person anywhere, there will be conflicts. People will disagree. People will not agree on many things. People are going to argue. People are going to step on others' toes. People are going to judge people the right way or the wrong way, whatever. But the good working environment should include conflict resolution. And everybody in the environment should have the mindset that conflicts should be solved. Don't keep people or things in your heart. So there are 3 key elements here when it comes to resolving conflicts. Number 1 is avoid arguments and accusations. Avoid arguments and accusations. Sometimes you just avoid the arguments. Avoid accusing anybody. Take those away and focus on the way forward. Yes, you have now argued for 2 hours. You have shouted at each other for 2 hours. Now what next, really? What next? You have not accused the person, accused. Yes, the person has done this thing. We now know the person has done it. I mean, you're still accusing the person. But now what next? It's not right. So for you to solve conflicts in the workplace as a leader, as a manager, as a supervisor, Learn to minimize arguments, learn to avoid arguments and accusations, and focus on the way forward. The second element is focus on solutions over problems. Yes, the conflict is already there, but how can we move forward? What do we need to do now to sort this out so we can move forward? Many conflicts get to stay for so long because the two people involved don't have this mindset. Everybody's claiming to be hurt. Everybody's claiming to be angry. And then what next? And some people go to the extent of not talking to each other for months and even years. Like, how do you even live like that? So a good leader, a good employee, a good professional, a good executive focuses on the solutions over the problems. The third element here under conflict resolution is apologize unconditionally even when it is your fault. Yes, apologize unconditionally even when it is your fault. Sometimes you just say, you know what, sorry. Even though you know that it's not your fault. You say, I'm sorry. But especially when it is your fault, please apologize unconditionally, especially for leaders. Leaders, we should be vulnerable. Oh, I'm sorry I came late. Oh, I'm sorry this happened. Oh, I'm sorry I misjudged you. Oh, I'm sorry this happened. Apologize unconditionally, even if you are the CEO, even if you are the manager, even if you are the supervisor. It will not reduce you, but it will make the place better. It will build a better relationship. It will bring the team closer to work together and accelerate the business result. The result of a business cannot be exceptional if there is infighting and conflicts and nobody is willing to be vulnerable to say, I am sorry, unconditionally. Please forgive me, let us move ahead. Let us come together and move ahead. It is very important to achieve that. The next skill that you all need to, saying I am sorry, but you are not apologizing unconditionally. That's wrong. Just say, I am sorry. It was my mistake. And I have learned about it and it will not happen again. Don't add words. Don't try to explain. But just say, I'm sorry, let it be. Sometimes it's not going to be comfortable. But let's just say, I am sorry, genuinely apologize unconditionally, and let's move forward. The next skill, that's skill number 1 under volume 2 of the set of skills that you need to learn. Venturing into the future. Skill number, venturing into the future. It's a skill that every entrepreneur and executive must have. Know how to venture into the future. Know how to venture into the future. Yes, skill number 5 for volume 2 of the number of skills. Venture into the future. It's a very important skill for all of you. If you must have a sustainable future, if you must have a thriving future, please learn how to use your mind and venture into the future. And there are 3 elements here that you can use to venture into the future. Number 1, you can study the trends in your industry. Study the trends of what is happening around you. You can use that and you anticipate the future. Number 2 is imagination. Just sit and imagine the future. Imagine the possibilities that may happen in the future. Let me give an example of imagination. Imagine that Zoom now becomes so innovative that it has a camera in a way that as I'm speaking like this, you see me sitting in another chair in front of you, but it's not the real me. I have been teleported to come and sit in front of you. I am speaking to you like this, and I'm training you one-on-one. There's a chair in your house or in your office where I come and sit, but I've been teleported. But I'm training from my house or my office, but I'm sitting in front of you. That's just imagination. I've created that actually. But that can lead now to possibilities. Scientists and technicians and engineers can start seeing how to make that happen quickly and faster in a more practical way. There are some games like that, what they call virtual reality. You see, so learn to use your imagination. What if not? Anybody who uses imagination uses a lot of what if. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And all of that. The third element on how to venture into the future that you as entrepreneurs and business leaders must use is use complaints from customers. Yes, complaints from customers can act as a sign of what they want from what they will start needing from you in the future. Also, complaints from staff. Yes, what your staff may be complaining about, you can use it to anticipate, to venture into the future. Oh, if my staff are raising these issues, I think I should pay attention to, they may need this tomorrow. They may need this in the future. So you need to intentionally know how to venture into the future as a business professional and executive. The seed skill for today on volume 2 of the critical soft skills for business result acceleration is the skill of increasing desire and decreasing friction. The skill of increasing desire and decreasing friction. One of my favorite skills to talk about. It's not something many of us have heard about, but it's powerful. Every entrepreneur and executive should have the skill of increasing desire and decreasing friction. What does that mean? Let's break it down. To increase desire, every entrepreneur, every manager, every business leader and executive should have the skill of increasing desire. What does that mean? They have the skill of getting customers hungry and excited to buy. You are so good at increasing the desire of potential customers to buy from you. Let them be hungry to buy your product. Let them be excited to buy from you. It could be not just how you communicate to them. It could be how you package the product. It could be the product presentation itself. Any action that you can take to get your customers hungry and excited to buy from you is called the skill of increasing desire. And it's a skill that is important for all managers, entrepreneurs, and executives. The second part of the skill is talking about decreasing friction. Decreasing friction. What does that mean? Every executive and entrepreneur should have the skill of decreasing friction. Decreasing friction. What does that mean really? It means you must have the skill of reducing obstacles. Yes, it takes a skill to reduce obstacles. If you're an entrepreneur and you're selling a service or a product to people, you need to anticipate what are the potential obstacles that customers may face when they want to buy my product or when they want to consume my product. You anticipate those obstacles and you take action to reduce the obstacles, to decrease the friction. Let's say, for example, a biscuit package. Before now, several years ago, they used to do it, and it used to be difficult for kids to tear it apart and start eating. Now, that was an obstacle. But as a good company, you need to learn how to decrease that obstacle by making sure that you make part of the package to be easy in a way that even a child of 2 years can have the energy to tear it apart and start eating the biscuit. That is decreasing friction. So you look at what are the potential obstacles that your customers will face trying to buy and consume your products, and minimize the obstacle, decrease that friction. Because if frictions are so high, people may not like to buy from you because they are going to go through it. Nobody likes obstacles in life. Human beings don't like obstacles. So look at your process. Look at the work you do. Look at your process. If there are a lot of obstacles when it comes to consuming your product or your service, it will affect your sales, people. It will affect your sales. A good entrepreneur has the skill of increasing desire and decreasing friction. Same for leaders, team leaders, managers, executives. Anticipate the obstacles that your employees may go through when it comes to performing their work, and do your best to minimize the obstacles. Do your best to grow consistently to see how you keep reducing those obstacles. In the workplace, it is hard to reduce all the obstacles at once, or because all the money will not be there. Left to all good managers, left to me, for example, all the employees should have cars. They should have fuel allowance. They should have houses, or they should have rent allowance. They should have all of these things that will reduce all the obstacles that they are going through so they can focus on their work and serve the company better. But the first step is identify the obstacles, identify the frictions, and begin to take steps when you can. Be intentional at decreasing any friction that employees may go through when it comes to doing their work effectively. The friction may start from you, your leadership style, your attitude, your character is not the best. Your character can be an obstacle to your fellow colleagues. Decrease that friction, work on it, remove that particular obstacle. To be a good businessman, to be a good executive, focus on decreasing friction and focus on increasing desire. The last skill, that's the seventh skill for today, right? Emotional intelligence. If you are still there, write emotional intelligence. Seventh skill in volume 2. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. What does it mean to be emotionally intelligent? It means that you know how to manage your emotions and you know how to manage the emotions of others in simple terms. That is emotional intelligence. But most importantly, working on yourself. Working on yourself. You know how to manage your emotions positively, negatively, and you know how to manage the emotions of others. And there are 5 elements I need all leaders and executives, entrepreneurs to take into consideration considering being emotionally intelligent. You are going to struggle in life. You're going to struggle to work with people if you don't have emotional intelligence. Number 1, never act impulsively. Never act impulsively. Many people, many workplaces are terrible because many leaders and colleagues act very impulsively, acting without thinking, acting without planning, acting without consideration. That's the meaning of acting impulsively. Avoid that. Stop acting impulsively. It's not good for the workplace environment. You just shout anyhow. You just bust out anyhow. You just you just do funny things because of anger issues and emotions are not stable. A good leader has stable emotions. I'm not saying that you will not be hurt. You will be hurt. Your colleagues are going to do things that you feel so bad about it. But it's better to be emotionally intelligent and act in a way that is sustainable. To be emotionally intelligent and get them disciplined. Let the organization, let the leadership, or use the policy in place to discipline them. It will also make them respect you, that you are a good, matured leader. So never act impulsively. Stop acting without thinking. Number two, the second element under emotional intelligence is take a step back when you are upset. Take a step back when you are upset. Avoid being at the center of it all when you are really, really angry. Leave the place if you can. Take a step back and just go calm down. But I'm not saying you should run away from the conflict. No. Leaders, executives, entrepreneurs don't run away from conflicts. They sort it out. But don't sort it out when you are at your highest temperature of anger. You're going to mess up. You're going to destroy a lot of things. Step back, relax, and think better and come and solve it. Plain and clear. It's okay for you to take disciplinary actions after taking a step back. It's totally okay. It's okay for you to follow the company's policies, the workplace, and take actions. It's the same like in relationships. Take a step back, go take a walk, go do something, then come back and sort it out later. So remember, never act impulsively. Take a step back when you are angry or when you're upset. The third element under emotional intelligence, understand what you are feeling. Oh yes, understand what you are feeling and understand what others are feeling. Try to understand your feelings and the feelings of others in any situation. Because sometimes we have acted negatively before we realize that we acted the wrong way and it was not even worth it at all. Because we are not good at quickly just understanding our feelings. Oh, how am I feeling right now? Is it really real anger or I'm just driven by my ego and pride? Many of us have taken the wrong actions because our ego was driving us. Our pride was at the forefront, was on the driver's seat. A leader that will fail and destroy an institution is a leader who is not emotionally stable. Fear yourself and fear a leader around you who does not know how to understand their feelings and the feelings of others. That's not an emotionally intelligent leader. The fourth element under emotional intelligence that all of you must take seriously is understand the consequences of your actions. This is one of the things that can discipline you from acting stupidly when you are not emotionally stable. Think of the consequences. Like in a workplace, maybe a policy will, you can be suspended without pay, you can be terminated even, you can receive a query letter, which is not good. You can get your 1 day salary removed. There are many ways to discipline employees in the workplace. So think of the consequences that can lead you, that you can get into if you act when you are not emotionally stable. So when anything is going on and you have emotionally tense, always think, what are the consequences of my decision right now? And this doesn't take you 1 minute to think about it. Your mind will give you so many consequences and you will just calm down. and find a better way of sorting it out. And then the last part of being emotionally intelligent is knowing how to proceed accordingly to sort out the issue. As I said earlier, being emotionally intelligent doesn't mean that you run away from issues. Doesn't mean that if somebody hurts you, you don't have a communication with that person. No, it means that you refuse to behave like a child and you choose to behave like a matured entrepreneur, leader, and executive. So the last element here is know how to proceed accordingly to sort out whatever made you emotionally unstable. You go to that staff, go to that colleague, you go to that customer, and you try to sort it out in a very professional way that follows a professional process. When you do these four things, these five things, you will always be emotionally stable as a leader. All right, everybody, those are the 7 skills, volume 2, when it concerns the critical skills for business results. Tomorrow, we're going to look at other skills again, which are very critical, and we're going to touch a lot on some core digital skills. I've taken down about almost on the digital skills alone, which are still part of soft skills per se. There are about 11 sub-digital skills that you all need to know and be good at if you must thrive as business leaders and entrepreneurs. So tomorrow we're excited as we look at volume 3 of the critical soft skills for business results acceleration. All right, people, that is it. And I hope you got a lot of value and you are going to become better leaders, better entrepreneurs, and better managers. Then you will build incredible, thriving, sustainable, wealthy institutions and companies. Cheers.